Hey folks, welcome back. Karshel here. If you recall from our last episode, I was starting to explore the shift in the group from just being money oriented and survival oriented to start making us a viable group. Now, by viable, I mean able to have the stats to survive at least some initial combats with dust bandits and starving bandits and slavers, that kind of thing that we're going to run into as soon as we get out and about in the real world. Now, making additional food because we've got a goat that kind of adopted us. And when we talk to him, he gives up the cheese, which is kind of cool. In addition, I have started making here in the shelter training dummies and that type of thing. So we've got Victor up here training his melee skills. We've got Celestial Paladin over here working on Assassination. We have Dular improving his Thievery skills. Karshel is processing all of the cheese that the goat has been kind enough to share with us. And at this point, with Flick's armor producing when she has material, at the moment she does not, we don't even have to go out and do mining. Now, you certainly can, and say you go out and fill everybody's backpacks with copper, hey, it's going to be a great cash infusion. But as long as Flick is working and making armor that is sufficient to cover all the costs, that's kind of an option at this point, whereas when you're first starting, that almost is mandatory. Now my focus is on bringing people's skills up and doing some recruiting. Flick will keep working. Now that the store should be open, we're going to run her back down there again. I love all these bandits coming into town. That's going to come in very handy. And once the initial group's skills are up, I'm going to start doing recruiting because Squin has a couple of bars and I think I can find additional bodies. Being that we have a training facility in town, I can raise their skills up and have the group head out and do some hunting, so to speak. And it'll be much more likely that they can survive. And the armor that Flick is going to be producing at this point is going to be used to at least give us some basic coverage and help us not to be beaten quite into as much of a pulp as we would have been. It'll reduce the risk of us losing limbs. Whether or not I turn around and just sell that armor to buy the plate armor, I don't know if that's something I should be looking at or not. Coming from a traditional MMO background, when I think of tanks and someone who's going to stand there and take the damage, I'm thinking plate armor. I don't know that that holds true here in Kenshi, but it is certainly my tendency to think that way. So when I look at Karshel's gear, it's like, okay, he's got nothing at this point. Do I want to sell what Flick is making to buy him plate armor as a tank? Same with Celestial Paladin. Now he's got a little bit of armor that we got, but by selling the work that Flick is doing, we could actually outfit him in full plate. Now that would make him much slower, but it would also, at least in my opinion, give him the ability to stand toe-to-toe and fight with things, especially once the melee defense goes further up. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And the goat is ready to talk again, which means more milk. And 4 that time. He has done 6 a couple of times. 7 once, and this is the first time for 4. Okay, let's pop upstairs and see how folks are doing. Okay, that says it maxes out at 9. He is at 8, so we'll let him finish off this level and then switch him over. Dular is at 10. This maxes at 10, so we're going to jump him over to the turret training, which will increase the range skills. I don't know that it will improve the perception. I hope that it does, but that might actually only get improved by use out in the field. We're going to have to see on that one. Contract with herbivores has ended? What in the world? I don't know what it was referring to there, but that's okay. And Victor is working the training dummy, which says a max skill of 15. He is currently at 13, so we're going to let him continue to do that. Now, Assassination 6. Okay, so he's got a... Well, wait a minute. Nope. Clicked on the wrong person. Sorry. Assassination 8. 9 is the max. Supposedly. I've noticed that even though it says max skill of X on some of those things, their training bar continues to move. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Where'd the goat go? No, where'd the goat go? Aww. Did I lose the goat? I was really hoping that he would stick around. No goat upstairs? No goat upstairs. He might have wandered away. Well, now that's a bummer. Not that I can complain. Okay, come over there. Put things in the food barrel. Invalid container type? But wait a minute. It's the food items. Okay, well, whatever. You'll be able to eat it in the food, or in the field. But that's kind of a bummer. Unless there's a specific cheese box or something. Cheese mat. Oh, so she got both high grades this time. As you can see, that has a decent sell value on that. Additionally, look at the coverage for the body. It's fairly decent. That's what I mean about being able to take the group out and not get our butts just handed to us as badly, and not as likely to lose our limbs or our lives, even though we're still going to be getting beaten up. So I'm pleased with that. Victor, your bar is barely moving. How you doing? Up to 13, so you still got a little bit of ways you can go. Dular, okay, perception is not going up. Maybe that actually requires firing in the field, but turrets is going up. So eventually, when he does have to use them, it will be just not quite as terrible. I don't remember what I could take that up to. Up to 10. Okay, we'll leave him in place. Celestial Paladin is up to 8. So he is almost done. That bar is barely moving. So, now the question comes, do you prefer this or mining? Both of them have their use. This is the kind of thing you can do and walk away from, and just leave somebody doing the training, come back 10 minutes later or whatever. As long as there's food in the neighborhood, they're going to be fine. Yeah, the cheese making doesn't necessarily work that way. because of the fact that you have to constantly click this. I am getting pretty confident that because of this, this is actually a mod thing. But it's also temporary since the goat wandered off. I'm gonna miss him. But I'm also gonna remember that. I like that idea of being able to find a wild creature and kind of befriend it for a little while. So that's a step in the right direction. I have always kind of thought that if you had a sufficient amount of foods or raw meat and that kind of stuff, that you ought to be able to convince bone dogs to either follow you around and maybe eventually decide that they're going to stay with you or something along those lines. But I don't believe that actually has been written into game yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets there. Popping back upstairs again. How are folks doing? Assassination of 9. Okay, so that training bar is barely moving. We're going to pull Celestial Paladin off of there and have him start working on the thievery skills. And get rid of that. Victor, how you doing? You are at 14. You did not max out your assassination, so I'm going to move you back over there. Dular, you are up to 8. That's going along nicely. Okay. Now, store should be open, so we're going to run flick back down here. Oops, not quite yet. Whoops. There we go. Nope. Having some serious control issues here, folks. Bear with me. There we go. Figure if she's going to run back down, might as well have the armor to sell. Because I think that for Mantha and Celestial Paladin, I've been thinking about it, of course, while we're going through this playthrough, I'm going to try to outfit them in the plate. It just makes more sense to me. And only 4 leather, so she's not going to get a whole lot done this time out. Did I need any other material at the moment to build? I did not. But prisoner cage requires what? 5 iron plates. Do I have 5 iron plates here on the vendor? I do not, so it's kind of irrelevant. But I'm going to buy the 2 that he's got. And she's in such a hurry to get back to work, she did not even wait. How is that for a good work ethic? Okay, Karshel. Pretty soon he's going to be done with the whole cooking thing. But his cooking skill has gone up, so I guess I can't complain about that aspect either. This makes me wonder. I had talked about seeing this as a reason to actually be willing to spend the money to have goats. I'm going to kind of assume that if you had bought goats, they won't wander off. Say they were in your keep. Rather than this one, after milking it a few times, it just suddenly seems to be gone. But that is a definite assumption on my part. Got a serious amount of milk. Or of cheese. Okay, so that is empty now. Karshel can be done screwing with the stove, and I'm good with that. So it's now his turn on the dummy, so to speak. And we'll jump back downstairs, see how Flick is doing. What's her skill up to? She's now up into 62 as an armor smith, which is fairly good. You can definitely tell the difference in the fact that she has been in here mostly and the others haven't. Looking at her stealth skill, I believe they're quite a bit better. But this is what she was created to do in this group. And again, putting out more high grade, which sells for 1,600 cats. So that's going to be very useful. Yep, and that's it. Both high grade sets. Okay, now since we have to wait for the store to reset anyway, Ms. Flick, come on up and do your thing. And everybody's training bars are still going up, albeit slowly. And on my grocery list is... Sorry, I got distracted by something shiny. That's the goat. Okay, Flick. Run out here. Talk to the goat. So it's a farm goat, not a normal goat. Ooh, keep a goat. Keep a goat. Did it join a group? It did not. So I don't necessarily get it as a group member. Oh well. That would have been humorous. And yes, in case you're wondering, I am easily entertained. Okay, Flick, come up. And did you get milk? You did not get milk. Did the goat want somebody to talk to it? It is there, and it's got the green thingy, but it doesn't have the dialogue box, so I'm going to assume no. How you doing there, Victor? Assassination of 8. Tops out at 9. Yep. So you're almost there. Celestial Paladin. Thievery of 8. This tops at 10, I believe. Yep. See, but all of this, while it is not the same as mining, you're still basically going to be sitting there doing a repetitious thing up to a certain level. But being able to do this all now in town is only to the good, because there is no risk in here. Once I actually do build a couple of cages, which I am intending to do once I get the iron plates, I'm going to look at picking up some of these unconscious bandits that we keep seeing here in town, like that, and keeping them around as training dummies, which will hopefully increase my melee defense and first aid sufficiently to make it worthwhile. What I don't know, and I have to wonder about, is as long as I don't kill them, if they're in a bad way, and I keep bandaging them, is that going to increase my faction? It might. If so, that probably ought to be patched out, because that just doesn't seem like it should work that way. Although I can certainly choose not to use it. Almost there, Victor, almost there. How's Flick doing? She's up to 9 melee attack now. So that didn't take long at all. Karshel's hitting at 11. Dular is up to 9 on turrets. I think 10 was the max. 10 was the max, so he's almost done with that. Then we will start him on a training dummy. And Celestial Paladin is almost topped out on the Thievery. Okay, Karshel. Drop downstairs. Nope, can't talk to the goat. Yeah, it was worth a shot. Now, following this same type of routine is what I'm going to be doing for every recruit that I pick up here in Squin. That way, before they get sent out into the field, they have at least some basic skills. Kind of doing a scan now, see if there's any recruits here in the bar. Drifter, you looking for work? So would he have been looking for work if I hadn't approached him with a hiver? I may have to find that out in a little bit. What about you? What about you? Got any skills? Field medic. Sure, 6,000 cats. In all honesty, I'm going to pay that. Because I think it's more important to have the money, or to have the bodies, than to have the money now that I know money is going to be coming in. So we're going to recruit him. Nice shirt. I'm not even going to worry about changing the name or anything else. He's good enough just as he is. Now, looking for protection? Maybe. How much you charging? How skilled you are and how much are you charging? There you go. 6,000. At the moment, I do not have it, but I'm going to keep you in mind, dude. Okay, you two. Back over here. Is the goat ready to talk? Goat is not ready to talk. Okay, nines. Come on upstairs. Water's fine. Start working on that. What are your stats? In the toilet. With the exception of field medic, which is 39, which is nice. And being that you are a Shek, to me that gives you a degree of toughness, which a lot of people do not have. So that's only to the good. Victor, are you maxed out over there yet? You are. Okay. So you can take a break, relax for a while. Karshel, are you maxed out yet? You are not. Celestial Paladin, are you maxed out yet? You are not. Okay, nines. Come over here and work, would you? Victor, you haven't worked crossbow. Or turret, more accurately. So come on over there and do that. So I need at least one more training device so that Dular would be able to max his skills out as well. But I really can't complain all that much. Okay, well, I'm going to continue to do this for a little while. But you know the routine. I am working on getting toward what I consider the squad to be viable. And I'm going to build up to about 10 people that are equally skilled, doing the armor production and everything else as I have been. And then I will jump in with another video. So I appreciate you joining me on this one. I hope that you're finding it informative and useful for one option of how to start and get yourself built up as a group in Kenshi. But feel free to comment, like, share, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I will see you here for the next one. Karshel out.